I have a question, um, and it is because I had an experience. I was at a party with my boyfriend. We've been together for half a year, so we don't know each other that well yet. I come with a history of a family that was alcoholic when I was small. So I grew up in this environment where drinking equals unsafety, and drinking and drunk people equals not being taken care of as a child and having uncertainty about how to get to school next morning, lunch packs, dinner, napping, when you have to go to bed, etc. And at this party, I experienced him and his friends being festive, and they were drinking because it was a social event with a big dinner and it was a very big birthday party. So there was lots of wine, etc. But I felt that people were drunk, and I had something to drink early in the evening. But then I stopped because I didn't like to drink more. And I felt as the evening progressed, he was my boyfriend. He was very loving. I knew only him at the party, and he was very caring for me. He was around me all the time. He was very sweet. He was very smiling, attentive, everything. But because I come with this history, I can see so fast when people have a little bit of blur because they have been drinking something, etc., and movements getting. So I get to feel this fear, fear
Mm.
in my body that now I'm being unsafe. Now this is escalating into something I cannot control at all. I want to get away. I don't want to be there. I feel frightened, and because it was him, and because I like him so much, that he is like my safety person, then I really felt like this is danger, and I really felt afraid. And I couldn't really say. I tried, but it's difficult also. And then at some point in the evening, some of his friends, like as a good friend, lifts him up, like physically lifts him up, and he drops him. So
Mm.
my boyfriend is being dropped on the floor. And for me, that was sort of first thing, my first thought was that I could have literally physically harmed his friend because he dropped him. I was so mad. I didn't know what to do. Madness was, but I contained it because, well, but I looked very angry. I didn't yell or anything, but I really got afraid, and I could have cried.
Yeah.
So I know that it was fear because I was so close to crying. And then I said to him a little bit later, maybe half an hour later, I said, we need to leave. Um, and and we sat down and we talked, and I tried to explain, but it's difficult in that situation. So yeah. And we left the party at some point, and we went home and we slept, and we spent the next day talking this over a lot because he needed to know what happened. Because for him, it was not an unusual situation. Yes, well, somebody shouldn't drop you. Yeah, of course. But yeah, he didn't feel that anything was unusual. I felt so afraid, but I know this is my issue. I know this is because I am so afraid when people around me are drunk,
Mm.
especially people that I like. I haven't been a party girl in my young years or anything. I hate drunk people. Yeah, it's so difficult to me, but I want to be with him. I want to be able to go to parties with him in the future. I want to be able to not feel this immensely unsafety and fear.
Yeah.
Well, it's not because I want it to go away, but I need to find a way together with him.
Yeah.
But he's not supposed to change.
No.
I know that.
Yeah.
So, and he was the most loving
Yeah.
person. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're saying all the things that make me feel that we can talk about it on the level that we're going to talk about it. Because first thing is obviously for anybody listening that recognize themselves in the same situation, that you really need to ensure that you are in a safe relationship, that you are that there are no red flags of any kind in the relationship. If there is, then my reply would have been completely different. But because he, as you say, he was very loving and very kind, and he was just drunk and happy at a party and thinking he's 20 and his friend can lift him. I mean, come on, guys, you're 50. But it is how it was just having fun, and to him it was nothing. It's like good mates, and there's nothing there. And also that even though he was drunk, that he was completely fine with, if you want to go, we go. That's another very green flag in a relationship. And that you spend the next day, and even though he cannot relate to what you're saying at all, because it was not his experience at all, he completely allow you to have the experience that you have. He's not trying to change you in any way, and you have no wish to change him in any way. You're very, very clear that this is a childhood issue that you need to deal with. So based on that, my reply is going to be accordingly. If anybody listens to this and your situation is different, then our reply probably would be very, very different.
Yeah.
I love that you see so clearly that this is, that there's a direct connection in the feeling in you that you had at the party, that you had as a child, when the adults starting to get drunk, you knew you would have to tuck yourself in, you would have to sort out dinner, you would have to set an alarm to get to kindergarten or school next morning, you would have to make sure you got breakfast and everything was ready, lunchbox and all that, and sort yourself out. So completely no parental guidance at all, which is very, very normal when you come from an alcoholic family. That neglect that adult children of alcoholics have experienced is something that is marking you in a way that is rarely talked about. And it is really, really important to be aware of, because you see danger everywhere. Like you say, the moment a person starts to get tipsy, you get like fearful right away. You are 5 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old. You are exactly there. It's not the situation that you're in with a healthy relationship and a completely normal Danish, 50-year-old birthday. You are no longer there. You are back in your childhood. Like we very, very often say, that when feelings like that come up, it's not about the story. It's not about you coming from a dysfunctional alcoholic family. It's about all the things in you that has not been met. It is not a 1982 issue. It's a 2024 issue. It's an issue that is happening, arising right now. The past does not exist. It only exists in your mind. But what was not met back then is what has been begging for you to meet it all those years, up until now, where you're finally mature enough to look at this. You are in a stable, safe relationship where you are surrounded by the same safety that you, as a child, felt that you had in your parents, even though you didn't. Children tend to create a story that they are safe, even when they're not. So you have the same feeling of safety now for you to actually address it. So for you not to run over the hills, but really wanting to address this and look at this, is showing the maturity that you have now. So what I would recommend for you to do is to feel into your body. When you say that the moment they start to drink, I feel fear, that is a label. It's not what is actually going on in your body. There's a contraction somewhere. There's a feeling of ick somewhere. There's a wanting to escape and run away somewhere. But you need to stay in the feeling. All those distractions by putting a label on, I'm fearful, or I get defensive, or all of that is small labels that in its own right is a diversion away from how it actually feels to be in the body right now. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So in the situation, if we go back to how it was at the party, and you start to, do you remember the moment you saw, because you felt that you had had enough alcohol before all this started?
Mm.
So you stopped drinking before all this started.
Mm.
Um, when you then see that he is tipsy, he might come over to you and give you a hug or something like that. It might be a smell, it might be slurry words, it might be the not quite eye contact, it might be so many different things that you recognize. But one of those things was the big thing that gave you a feeling in your body. Do you recall how it felt in your body?
It feels like my shoulders are going in front and I want to protect myself.
Yeah,
And I feel
flinching. Yeah,
difficulty in breathing normally.
yeah.
It's not because I'm hyperventilating or anything, but it's just like it's constrained in somehow of the breathing.
Okay,
But it's especially the shoulders. It's
okay.
not around the
Could you
head, it's upper
could you
body.
could you position your body like it is?
Yeah.
So if you position your body the way that you feel, yeah, close your eyes, that's better. And then imagine that you're standing and you smell the alcohol or he says something and you have that feeling. What is happening in your body right now?
My shoulders want to go further in front
Do that.
and I feel heat
Yeah, do that. Where do you feel the heat?
around the shoulders, arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a feeling inside when you do this?
It's just it wants to go away and I get a lump in my throat
Okay.
and my shoulders are going up. They don't want to stay down at all.
Yeah. But just sit and feel the lump in your throat and the shoulders, make them go a bit up. And feel the lump in your throat. Your facial expression just changed. You're more closed down in your face than you were before, be- between the brows, and you're biting your teeth. Your jaw is very tense, which means that you also have a tension in your pelvic floor and in your knees. Just sit and feel this contraction in your entire body right now. Is there a feeling coming up?
When I think of the situation, I just wanted to get away.
Yeah. So it's a feeling of unsafety.
Yeah.
When you were sitting, sit with your eyes closed. Maintain this position that you're sitting in right now. And do you want to do the eye circles with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like for you to look up at, yeah, you need to get back in the position again so I can see where you are. Okay, could you bite your teeth a bit? Clench your bum and make fists. There we go. And then I would like for you to look up at 12 o'clock with closed eyes and think, I'm safe. Look at 1 o'clock. I'm safe. 2 o'clock. I'm safe. 3 o'clock. There was something there. Could you go back to 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 2 o'clock? And could you go to 4 o'clock and up to 3? Could you sit and breathe a bit there? What is happening there in the body?
I don't like the tension.
Yeah. Okay, look at 4 o'clock and 5 and 6 o'clock. I'm safe. And 7 o'clock. 8. Go back to 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 8. Go back to 7 o'clock. What is happening there? You have
It's like
yeah, go on.
it's difficult to look down there.
Yeah,
The eyes don't want to go there.
yeah. Could you go between 8 and 6 o'clock a few times? Just make an inhalation and exhale, and inhale and exhale, and go between 8 and 6. Keep thinking I'm safe. Is it easier with the movement now?
Yeah,
You had a tension in your neck that is not there anymore. So if you
but
look,
it
yeah,
doesn't feel safe at all
no,
because I'm so tense.
okay, okay. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11, and 12. And now we're doing it the other way around, but where you think I'm unsafe. So 11 o'clock, 10, 9. Okay, back up to 11. And make a deep breath. You stop breathing there for a moment. And 10, 9, 8. I'm unsafe. And 7, and 6, and 7, and up to 8. Is it easier to move when you think I'm unsafe now? If you move back and forth a bit.
I don't know.
You don't have the tension in the neck. Let's go to 6 o'clock. And 5 o'clock. And 4, 3. Okay, go back to 4 o'clock. And 5 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock. And then make a deep breath. Think I'm unsafe. What is happening there?
It feels like it corresponds to the feeling in the body to
Yeah,
say I'm safe, unsafe.
unsafe is there. Okay. Look between 5 o'clock and 3 o'clock and keep repeating I'm unsafe. And just sit and breathe. The breath changed. How does it feel in the body?
I had to let go of the tension in the bum or the
Yeah,
like
yeah,
forceful tension.
yeah. Good, good. And 3 o'clock and 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Make a deep breath. Keep your eyes closed. How does it feel to be in the body now?
It feels like it it knows the feeling.
Yeah. Okay, I would like for you to shake your body. Keep your eyes closed. Shake your body. Give a proper shake. Okay. And now when you're sitting where you're sitting now, see if you can think back to the party where he comes over to you. Is it still charged?
No, not as much. I I really don't know. It's like my body doesn't want to go away
Mm,
immediately now, and the
no.
shoulders do not want to crunch,
Yeah, I
punch.
think it's because we need to go a bit back. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you remember a time when you were a kid where a sudden party would break out and you would know that you would have to tuck yourself in and make dinner and breakfast and all of that? Do you remember a
yeah,
certain incident? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And sit and breathe with that. How does it feel in the body?
It's the same. It's the lump in the throat and the shoulders go in front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you be with the memory of the little child then and still be here in 2024 with me at the same time?
yeah,
So you have an adult with you now as a child?
yeah.
Okay. I would like for you to look at 12 o'clock and just breathe into it. What mantra would you like to have, that you're safe or you're unsafe?
I would like to have him safe.
You're safe. Okay. 1 o'clock. Do you feel she's safe?
Yes, and I feel love for her.
You feel love for her? Good.
Yeah,
And 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and four, 5 and 6. Back up to 5 and 4. And just have your eyes go between 4 and 6. There's something in that area. Just breathe into it. Are you safe?
yes, I am safe.
Good. 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9, 8 and 7. Okay, go between 7 and 9 and breathe into it. Are you safe?
Yes, I'm safe.
Okay, up to 9, 10, 11 and 12. Make a deep breath. Keep your eyes closed. Now, when you think back to your childhood with the alcoholic parties and you feeling unsafe, is it still charged?
I can feel I don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it okay for it to be there and be a part of you?
yeah,
Not to go away?
yeah.
Is it okay for you to incorporate this part of your childhood into your life today, that you at this point in your life need extra safety from you and extra security and from you, not from an external source, but from you, the 2024 Sunni?
Yes, it is okay.
Yeah.
I, yeah, I will have to keep remembering that I'm safe when I come across situations in the future that resembles this.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I can also feel that I don't want to avoid getting into situations
No,
like this. I don't want to
you don't
say
have to.
forever,
No,
I'm not going anywhere.
because you don't have to. You
No,
are safe.
yeah,
Okay. Shake your body, make a deep breath, and open your eyes when you're ready. It's not about you avoiding situations or anything, because the memory that you have is just a metaphor for you today needing reassurance from you. You need to reassure you in your everyday life that you are safe. And when You also need to acknowledge when you feel unsafe, that right now I feel unsafe. Suni, I feel unsafe. Can you make me feel safe? You know that you in 2024 can make you feel safe.
So we agree that when I feel unsafe, and when I have that initial, I want to run, I want
Yeah,
to go away, I want
yeah,
to leave,
yeah.
that I can breathe into it and I can
Yes.
feel it and I can embrace it and I can love it
Because
and
this
say I
this
am safe.
this wonderful, powerful 2024 woman sitting in front of me here, can she protect that feeling that the little child has and make her feel safe? You are safe right now. Look around you.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no threat. There's no
no,
alcoholics. There's no beating or unsafety or neglect or
yeah,
anything. You are
yeah,
safe, which
yeah,
means whenever it comes up as a metaphor, the 2024 Sunni can handle that. You can
yeah.
reassure yourself, I understand. You're safe now. I have created a life around us. We are safe.
Mm.
And then, and because you had that feeling, I don't want it to go away yet, it's because there's more that needs healing. So don't be forceful about that feeling going away.
No,
Every time it comes up, it's a reminder to you that right now you need more compassion, kindness, and love. And then you give yourself compassion, kindness, and love.
yeah,
It's just a metaphor.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. Do you have
That was
anything
amazing.
on?
Yeah, I had written down a few things. You covered some of it already.
Mhm.
um, um, well, the one thing that I was gonna start with, but you covered that well, is like I love this whole practice and doing all of this. But also, if you're in that situation, and just in general, to recognize those things, like when you're feeling that feeling of unsafety, notice all around you, if it's true, like externally, which you covered, and remind yourself, I am safe, I can breathe, I can feel my feet on the floor. Like getting into even not just those sensations of unsafety, but just other grounding sensations can be really useful in that moment, to recognize that how much of what I'm actually experiencing right now is in my mind
Mm.
compared to in the actual environment around me. And then the second part of that is, once you've recognized that, okay, the world is not, or the room I'm in is not objectively unsafe at this point. People are laughing and having a party, and nobody is throwing weapons or anything like that. So then also recognize that those sensations that you're feeling, like, because the phrase that you used is that you feel, I forget exactly the phrase, I just took down the notes, but you felt tension, which was telling you that you were unsafe.
Mm.
So there's a belief that those sensations actually mean something true, that those sensations, if they're there, is an actual indication of something in your environment being a certain way. But it's not. It's an indication of an old habitual bodily reaction to a type of situation. And as you said, it's a metaphor. It's something that's no longer relevant in this current situation. So that sensation, just because it's there, doesn't actually mean you are unsafe. It's just an old sensation that's appearing. And so looking at it from that standpoint, where what you're feeling there isn't actually unsafety. What you're feeling there is a very old common sensation that you felt in certain situations over time, and you have generalized that every time I feel this sensation, it means I'm in an unsafe situation. And so there's an assumption that's happening there.
Mm.
But it doesn't mean that because you feel it, you are actually unsafe. So it's separating out the feeling from the actuality, so that you start to get that perspective that just because I feel it doesn't mean it's true.
And I just want
Yeah,
to add to
yeah,
that this was what you did with anxiety and
yeah,
agoraphobia and all that.
absolutely.
This was exactly it. So if anybody's sitting out there and have anxiety or depression or agoraphobia or anything like that, like Todd just said, is really noticing that it's not real.
Yeah,
It's a sensation in the body that is giving a signal as if it is real,
yeah,
but that can be questioned.
yeah.
That can be questioned and
And
felt into and just be with what is present in this moment.
Yeah. And of course, if the objective reality is that you are physically unsafe, then it's not just to
Then
bypass
get away.
it. Yeah, exactly. Then
Get
act
away.
on it, because that's there for a reason. But if there's no other sign, if nobody else in the room is acting as though there's anything unsafe here, that's a good indication that you can question, am what I'm feeling, is what I'm feeling actually a reflection of this, or is it a reflection of something else that's happening in there that has no connection to this in any 2024 way? And then the other thing that I had written down is that I think, even though we aren't talking about this aspect of things or haven't discussed it in this, the situation that you brought up is, I think, something relevant to look into just for everybody too. Like you said that, with your boyfriend, you feel very safe. He's kind of your safe person. But there's an issue, because when he's drunk, he is different. He's not the same person. There's an assumption that everybody is a monolith. Everybody is the same. Pernilla is the same Pernilla night and day, drunk or sober, tired or awake. It's not true. It's not true. There's a safety that it's like a myth that we hold on to feel safety, that everybody around us is the way that I believe them to be, and they are that way all the time in any situation. And of course, our experience is very much not that, but we conveniently ignore that. So something to get into contact with is that insecurity that you feel about people being able to change, about people not being consistent from one moment to the next, and in one state of inebriation versus another.
That is particularly important for anybody that has had a dysfunctional childhood, that feeling that one moment you felt safe and the next moment you were unsafe. And that was why you were alert. You were reading a room and you could hear on footsteps coming down some stairs that, oh, now I need to be careful. That feeling gives you an adulthood where you are seeking security and safety all around you, and it needs to be unchangeable. So like you say, that Sunny, what you said, that your boyfriend needs to be the safe pillar that you need, and that needs to be unchangeable, because you cannot be in a body that feels unsafe. But reality is, like Todd says, nobody is the same all the time. Nobody's the same, and he needs to be set free, not to be the same. He needs to be allowed to be sad one day, tired another day, drunk another day, loving another day. He needs to be set free to be everything, so he can have like a full exploration of his experience in a life. Just like we need that. We need the same. We need to be in safe and unsafe environment. We need to go into all the rooms and experience all of it, so we can become free in all environments that we experience. So it's a really good point you have there.
Yeah, that's very good knowledge, bringing into that people are not the same.
Yes.
Even though I have never reflected upon it, I've just felt that it gives me unsafety when people are not the same.
Yeah.
When it's actually a natural thing.
Absolutely normal thing. Yeah. Nothing is persistent or or unchangeable ever.
Good.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love it so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Same.